disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
What's up, bro?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Thursdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel.
Wednesdays, the traditional way with Brett Shumway, and once a month, we get the extra scoop with Peyton Fender and Jeff Dawes.
For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
Hey, I got a question real quick.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be saying X?
No.
Shouldn't you say X?
X what?
No.
What are you talking about?
Twitter
Instead
is
of Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh, man. I've never
just
ever given
realized
that thoughts.
Yeah, I just realized that. I was like, shouldn't you be saying X? Like,
Yeah, but people
Nobody-
still say Twitter.
Nobody but all those techie wannabes say X.
I don't
It's
even know.
not
Yeah, I've
cool.
never heard anybody even say X.
That's
Yeah.
like when Pine Knob went to DTE.
Mhm.
Everybody still called it Pine Knob. Now it's back to Pine Knob.
It's been a few names, and people still
I'm just
call it
saying.
Pine Knob.
Like
That's funny.
nobody calls it X. Even I listened to 3 other podcasts, and every time they'll be like Twitter. Oh, I mean X, but then they just stopped even saying that. They just keep calling it Twitter.
Yeah, that
You
was
just
that
get
was
used
dumb.
to that.
That was dumb to change the name. You know, I mean, a lot of things. There's just no need of changing the name if it's already stamped into people's memories. It's like why?
That
Like,
was an ego trip, is what that was. That he bought that whole thing. Well, first off, he overpaid. Second off, he thought he was gonna like change the entire like social media conglomerate and
mhm.
change the world, and that he's burning money with that whole thing. He came in, fired everybody, put his own people in, and he hasn't been making money with X, Twitter. I don't care what the hell he
Yeah.
wants to call it.
I can't
It
imagine
was
somebody
stupid.
buying McDonald's and saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna change the name to Larry's." They don't got the same
Exactly.
ring,
Right?
It doesn't even
Could you
sound right.
imagine?
No,
I need to go get a Big Mac from Larry's. I don't want a Larry's.
it doesn't even sound right. You
But a ba Larry in it, and like
know?
that doesn't even work.
Oh,
Screw
it's
that.
just dumb. It's just dumb. So what's going on,
That's
guys?
that was just a doggone ego trip. Not much, man.
How was the
We're
holidays?
starting to holidays were good.
Yeah, I'm sipping on eggnog right now.
All right. What you got in that eggnog?
You know what? I think I messed up, honestly, because I blended 2 eggnogs together. And one I read the bottle and it said, and I read the bottles after, and one said brandy, and the other one did not say what was in it, what alcohol. It just says 14%, but it didn't say what was in it. And I told Melissa, I said, this doesn't say what. I hope I'm not blending the wrong types of liquor together. And I
Yeah.
said, it doesn't say. She said, has to say. I said, look at the bottle, and she couldn't see nothing either. She just said it's 14%.
No, don't do that premix stuff. Take you some real eggnog, get you some Fireball, put them together.
See, I knew, I knew you. Out of everybody I know, you would know. Like, don't buy the premix stuff. You make it
The
yourself.
premix stuff is fine, but I mean, like for me, I want to control my alcohol consumption. So, and I think Fireball works pretty good with it too.
Yeah, yours probably tastes a little bit stronger than this, and it's pretty strong.
Yeah, those ones are not bad actually for the premixed. Man, I didn't really have any good eggnog. I had one at Thanksgiving. My wife's aunt makes homemade eggnog,
Okay.
and it's really good. But like it's one of those things like you just have like one glass and you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be good after this. I'm not having any more after after this, so I'm already feeling it. I'm feeling good. So
Yeah, I mean, I got to enjoy time with the family, some good food. The crazy thing is, so, I'm not, work was dying down a little bit, but the holidays fell on my days off. I had Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Mm-hmm.
So my holiday falls on a Monday at work. Well,
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention. So I got up. I wasn't supposed to go to work Monday, but I got up like it was a regular day, not thinking, and showed up, and they sent me home. I was like, I did my whole morning routine, my cup of coffee. I'm all, and I'm
So were
looking.
you mad that you had to drive back home?
I was like,
Well, at least they
man,
told you at the beginning and not at the
I
end.
could have, I could have stayed in bed today. Like, so I would go home and I get back in bed and I'm trying to like go back to sleep. It took like an hour just to go back to sleep, but I mean, it was fine. So I'm not doing that because I got the same thing tomorrow for
Right.
New Year's Day. So I'm like, oh sweet, 3 days. I'm not gonna show up. I told them already. I was like, I got it off, right? Yep. Okay, I'm not showing up. Thank you.
I got a question for you guys, but I'll wait till after since you said that. I got a question for you
Yeah, I mean
after the
that
show.
was it, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Just we did Christmas Eve with my mom. That's how I always do Christmas Eve, Christmas with my mom. It was just my wife and I and my family, and then my niece with her boyfriend, and we had a nice time with that. You know, just hanging out, meeting her new boyfriend, and all that. That was fun. And then we did Christmas at my mother-in-law's, and everybody was there. And then yesterday we did Christmas with my father-in-law, so we got through the whole thing before the weekend was over. So it was nice.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's
How
it.
about you, Angel? That's it.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Nothing really crazy, man. My fiance came down. She stayed for 4 days, I think it was. Yeah, 4 days.
Okay.
It just seemed like we were just running around, man. Like, she gets down here, everyone doesn't get a chance to see her all the time, so like everybody wants like a little piece of her, and it's just like I feel like I'm just running around everywhere. So, Christmas Eve, in our household, and then especially in our culture, like we celebrate Christmas Eve is really our Christmas. So
Okay.
we celebrate Christmas Eve. We were at my grandmother's house. That's like a tradition we've been doing since like probably before I was born. So every year we always go to my grandmother's house. So that was cool. We were all there, exchanged some gifts, laugh, joke around, like what we normally do. Then Christmas morning, once my brother had his first kid, we always celebrate. So as a kid, my mom and dad, like they always had us celebrate Christmas morning. That was something my parents wanted to do. So they still wanted us to have like somewhat of like a more Americanized type of Christmas still. So we always
Yeah.
did Christmas morning celebration. So now that my brother has a kid, then he has a second one now. So we always just go to since he had his first kid, we've been going to my brother's house every morning for breakfast. So we usually do breakfast. He always does French toast Hawaiian bread. His girlfriend usually does egg casserole, I think, or spinach egg casserole. I don't know. I don't personally I don't eat it, but it always looks good. Everyone always says it's good. This year, since my fiance came down, we baked cookies and we made cinnamon rolls, and we brought that over. And then that was it, man. We just started opening presents, and that was it, man. Like we enjoyed it. I loved it. I got to sit there. My grandmother was there, my fiance, the babies, all that. I was watching the Knick game, and I was just enjoying myself, dude. And lately I got a bruise. So on this side of my face, I have like a cut right. Oh, sorry, I have a cut here. I got a black eye over here. So we got a um there's a big MMA show coming in. So like I don't know if you guys know what it's called, but we have something called Mohegan Sun over here. And
Yeah.
Mohegan
The
Sun,
casino.
yeah, it's where like Bellator and all like and even big boxing matches, like WBC matches, everything takes place.
UFC has some fights there before.
Yeah, like early on.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Yeah,
some.
early. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a promotion in New England. It's pretty big. It's called Reality Fighting, and it's based out of Mohegan. They use Mohegan as their base. And we have a lot of guys from the gym that are going to be fighting on there for the like a lot of pros that are fighting. So they had me as like their sparring partner, so I've been like a sparring partner for like 2 or 3 different people. So I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I think because of my height, they had me working with the guy that's fighting in the welterweight division. Bro, he's so strong. Like, and all of this wasn't even like it was like glove. Like he hit me with his knuckle by accident. So I caught like his knuckle. Like it wasn't even like it was 10 shots or 15. It was like 2 or 3 times that I got hit. But it was just like the knuckle hit me, and it just like because like where the gloves were, his knuckles caught me. I'll be honest, man, bro. A knuckle hurts. Like a knuckle does not feel good. So
no, of course not.
it does not feel good. So but yeah, man, I've just been like a sparring partner for these dudes. And really just making sure everybody's all tuned up, getting ready. And then they were just telling me, like, 2025, whenever I feel ready, they want me to start doing a kickboxing match. So I'm probably going to take all of January, get back into shape, get myself, like, nice and lean, and, like, give myself a good, hard January with sparring and just a lot of rounds and see how I feel. And if I feel good, I'll take a fight right after that. I'll probably do, like, a 6 or 8 week camp. So
how do your sparring partners like sparring you? Because you're going to be you're fighting them differently than what they're used to. It has to be a little bit frustrating.
So when I'm fighting the pros, like they had me sparring one of the guys on purpose because I guess with the way the guy does. So the guy he's fighting trains at TriStar, George St. Pierre's gym, and trains with Kenny Florian. So their style has a little bit of karate-esque type of look. So they wanted me to give him certain looks. Like they only wanted me to stay with my left foot out for orthodox because the guy fights orthodox. They wanted me to do a little bit more back leg kicks and all that, right? But then when I fight the guy who's the main event for next Saturday, he is fighting. He wanted me to just because he kind of knows a little bit of the point fighting style. He's cool with Michael Venom Page. So he kind of knows some stuff. So he was like, "Yo, just be you." He's like the dude I'm fighting is super unorthodox as hell. Like he doesn't. There's like no real pattern. So he's like, "Do your thing, and I'll do my job." And then when I fight with a lot of like the high ranking amateurs and everybody, and this is not like me giving out secrets from the gym, but like they usually are just like, "Bro, like I hate fighting you." They all say it. They're like, "I just hate fighting you. Like you always hit me with some certain stuff that like I can't see." Or and it's not even that, man. Like the beauty that I love is where I'm at. Like how like we get done sparring and like everyone asks me for privates or everyone's like asking me like, "Yo, could you help me? How do you throw that side kick?" Everyone's like, "How do you throw the side kick? Like, how do you do this? How do you time it? How do you do this? How do you do that?" So for a lot of these pros that are fighting this weekend or next weekend, I've actually been helping them a lot with like their side kick, helping them with just little timing and distancing stuff. So it's been a crazy experience, honestly, man. It's like I think it's the one thing I think is so crazy compared to sport karate is like how much they value what we do. And I think in sport karate, everyone kind of like looks over people, and it's like whoever's hot at the moment has like everyone's on like the person that's hot at the moment. Then when that person dies out, then they jump to someone else like right away. When it's like in like this world, it's like they like really value like what you do. And then also everyone says the same thing to me. They're like, "Man, I didn't think karate guys could fight like that. Like, I thought it was just bullshit." And I always tell them, and I always say, I told him straight up. I said, "I know." I said, "Listen, bro. Everyone says that." I was like, "It comes down to the person. If the person knows what he's doing, he'll make it work." Like,
you know why? I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately, man, and I've been seeing people, a lot of jujitsu guys talk about,
it's those guys, the jujitsu guys,
they talk about how when they first started martial arts or wanted to start martial arts, they went to a karate school and they don't want to do katas, and they start talking about all this weird stuff. And now all of us know that there are a lot of weird people out here. There are a lot of people who got black belts, but they're just weird. They're just weird people. And a lot of times people who don't stick with this activity, they run into those guys. They don't run into us normal people who really can fight, who are not on that weird shit. People who think they can run up walls and jump from tree to tree. It's weird people out there like that,
no,
man.
It's true. No, it's true.
Oh, I know.
It's a weird, strange people out there. And I think a lot of these guys have bumped up into those guys. And then those guys try and probably tell them, like, when you punch, you need to do this way, and you need to spin around. I've ran into crazy people like that my whole adult life.
Yeah.
If somebody knows I know martial arts or karate, they want to talk to me, and it's some weird people. It's not people that's like my uncle or Ski or Jotty or Raymond. It's the weird people who you don't even never ever heard of, and probably never ever went to a tournament and won.
No, you're right, and it's you know, like I said, like the thing I like about the gym where I'm at is that I think one of the cool things is I'm starting to see my influence. Like I'm starting to see a lot more people have like a little bounce to their movement. A lot more guys are trying to throw the side kick. A lot of them are trying to do spin kicks now. Because like I do a lot of spin kicks whenever I get the chance. I always do like a spin back kick. Like if I can get a chance to it, I'll do it.
I got a question about that.
Go ahead.
Now I know you. You probably know there is a time to do a back kick, a turning side kick. The average person, the average MMA guy or jiu-jitsu guy, they don't know that, because I watched that in the UFC. They just randomly throw a spinning hook kick or a turning side kick. It's like, why would you do that without setting it up? Now, do you tell them or teach them how to set? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's
because
good, man.
So a good example is like there's and I'm not gonna like go deep into the story because like I said, I don't want to say stuff that happens in the gym. We keep it there. But there's a kid there that he's like 19, and we always have good rounds. So he actually texted me on Saturday and said, "Yo, I dropped someone with a spinning back kick." And his next words was like, "Yo, you were right. I did it right off the hook." And I was like, "All right, perfect, bro. That's what I want to hear." Like it's just, and like what you said, like they, you know, some people just do it like randomly, and that's what I kind of like about the gym is like they don't. You know how some places they want to hate on karate? Like the gym where I'm at, they're like, "Nah, keep your karate. We're gonna add to it, and then you help us. Like, how do we incorporate some of the stuff that you do?" And when they see it, they're just like they all say it. They're like, "Bro, like your kicks are nasty. Like you do this, you do that." And then when I explain to them like what I see, they're like, "Man, like how do you see that?" I mean, I tell them I was like, "It's just different." Like I was like, "You guys could see some stuff that I probably can't see. Like you guys could probably see a takedown better. I probably can't see it, right? I can't see it that well." So I was like, it all depends. But yeah, man, it's been a good camp for them. I honestly I liked it because I've gotten better through the camp. I've been able to get better with my fighting and just everything. And like I said, man, it's like I think the craziest thing is the guy who runs our gym. I think I told you guys like he's a pretty famous dude out in like the MMA world. If you say his name, everyone knows him. He said it to me. He's like, he himself said, "I hate the jiu-jitsu nerds that say karate is bullshit." And he goes, "I could find karate people that will fuck them up." Like he just said it straight up. And I'm sorry for my language, everybody, but like
George St. Pierre is a karate guy.
Yeah, it's just like it's just
Lyoto Machida's a karate guy.
Anthony Pettis, like Taekwondo,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like this. I think the thing is this: if anyone, I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. If anyone thinks it's bullshit, look at where the game is now and how many people have incorporated karate footwork or karate-esque type movements. Like now, like you said, Gene, now every MMA fighter is gonna throw a spin hook kick. They may not know when to throw it, but they're throwing it.
Yeah, they're
throwing it. Go back to 2003 to 2009. I remember when Anderson Silva threw a front kick and everyone made it seem like, what was that technique that he threw? Like, oh my God, what was that? Did he just hit him with a
white belt
kick?
technique? That's
like,
what that is.
And it's like, dude, it was a front kick. And like, all respect to Joe Rogan, but it probably been a minute since he's seen someone use it like that in actual MMA. But it's like at that point, that was the era that people think. Now we're in a different era. Everyone knows something, and everyone is more open to learning those things. So I like it, man. It's been a good thing for me. And like I said, man, like just 2025, I got big things coming for it. But if anyone's listening out there, do not think you will not see me at a tournament. That does not mean I will not go to a tournament, because I have a plan. So just do not think I will not show up at a tournament. That is the only other thing.
Okay, Angel, let me ask you this. I was thinking about you this weekend, man, and I was wondering.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it's a good question. It's a good question. Do you think that you could possibly burn yourself out with everything that you got going on?
We talked about this last week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still thinking. Like, do you think you can burn yourself out?
Yeah, I think if I
only reason I said that.
I think if I add on a third podcast, you guys might see me die on this show. Yeah.
I mean, because you got a lot going on, and this is what drives me crazy, man. You got a lot going on. You're always busy. I'm always busy. Joe's always busy with his kids, right? And then you have people who don't do anything except for go to work and come home, complain that they don't got time to do stuff.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember I said it one day. I think I said to my fiance, that would never be our life. I told her straight up. I was like, that would never be our life. Like, I just want you to know, like before you come into this, that's not our life. Like, that's like I don't think that's possible. I
I
was
don't
like,
think so either. For me
I
either.
told her, I said, like, if I told her, I said, take out karate. If we have kids and we want them to do dance or gymnastics or bowling or basketball, or whatever, we have to go. Like, we have to go and be there. Like, that's that like coming home and not having nothing until you wake up for work the next day. Like, I don't.
There's so
That's
much.
not possible.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, there's so much you can do in between 5 and 6 and
It's crazy.
11.
Listen, it's crazy, but as crazy as I sound, and I say this, and you talk about burning, like being burnt out, and this is me coming back to it. When I have all this time off, this is like my reset, and by like Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, I'm like, yo, I want to go back. Like, I'm ready to get my life back to normal. Like, it sounds crazy because I grew up under that, and that's how I function. And also for me, I will say, I'm a very big like routine person. So I have everything mapped out. Like, I literally have on my refrigerator, I have like the days of the week, and I have the times I go to the gym. Like, I scratch it out to make sure I do everything. Because then when I do it like that, to be honest with you, I feel like I have all the time in the world. If anything, I have more time sometimes. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So this is what it's like to have a productive day and sit down and be relaxed. Like, this.
Okay, but
go ahead, Joe.
Guess what? You better hope your significant other's that way, because otherwise you're gonna have to start a new routine.
Oh, oh no, she's worse. Believe me, she is.
I'm just lucky.
And
you're lucky because we're opposite.
Yeah, worse.
Okay. My wife, I love her to death, but we're the complete opposite. I like my routines. I like to be 10, 15 minutes early to stuff.
Yes.
Since I've been with my wife, I ain't been on time to nothing. And I remember early in the relationship, I used to get mad about it. I used to like scold her and yell. Nothing worked. I had to decide, is this my life? Is it worth it? Like, I gave up on it. I had to. I had no choice. I told everybody in my life, I said, listen, I'm going to do my best, but don't expect me on time too much. If it's my family and I, especially after the kids are born, like, we're just going to be a half hour late sometimes. Most of the time.
I get you. I'm lucky that she's like that. She is very, like, she's on time with stuff. Like, she doesn't like to be late. But with that being said, she's also like, if we go to something and it's from 6 to 7, she's like, at 7 we're out. Like, that's it. Like, we're not here till 7:30. Like, she gets on my ass about that. Like, we're not here.
100%.
Like, we're not here still talking. We're not here still talking. Let's just get up and go. It's time to leave. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Usually I'm the one still talking.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you, Joe. I'm the same way. So I know. So all good. Well, how about you, Gene? How was everything for you?
Yeah, everything's going good over here, man. The holidays are over. We had a nice time, man. Christmas Day, after the presents were open and everything, me and Melissa got to chill. I took a nap. I took a long nap, and probably because my kids don't get up early. DJ doesn't get up early. Champ don't get up early on Christmas. Like, me and Trav, we used to be up at 5, 6 o'clock. We used to be up ready to open the gifts. Nah, not these kids, man. Like, we had to wake DJ up. She got up at 7. We had to wake her up. And then same with Braylon. Braylon didn't get up until it was almost 9 o'clock when he got up. And I went over to his house. So DJ was able to open her gifts up. We exchanged gifts here, and then I went over and saw Champ and his mom and brother and grandmother and all that, and we opened up gifts over there. And I came home. Now I'm gonna tell you why I was tired though, because of course Melissa and I stayed up wrapping gifts, but I didn't get the chance to finish because she's up with me, So I'm waiting for her to go to bed. Any other night, she's asleep 9, 10 o'clock. She's still up. She's still up at 2. And she said, "You ready to go to bed?" I said, "No." She said, "Why not?" I said, "Because I ain't wrapped your damn gifts yet. Go to bed so I can wrap your gifts." And she was like, "You don't have to wrap." I'm like, "Go ahead, go to bed." So then I stayed up a little bit longer and wrap the gifts. And I went to bed about 3 o'clock or whatever, and it got up at 7.
Oh
So I
no.
was, yeah, yeah,
See, I
yeah.
worked that day, so
I did
I
too.
knew I was going to have to stay up late, and I think I made it to like 1:30, and she would wrap some stuff and then have me take it up and on all this stuff, and at about 1:30, she I think she said she called my name, and I was out, and she didn't come to bed till like 2:30, 3 o'clock. She said she was like she's Joe. And she told me about that I was out. Lights were on, TV was on. I must have passed right out. So
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, so who did that? I don't, you know what, man, this year did not feel Christmassy to me this year. I don't know why, man.
Everybody's been saying that. Everybody's
I
been saying that.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't watch Charlie Brown Christmas this year. I don't know. I don't know because it's
Well,
on Apple Plus.
I
You
think
wanna know
it
what I
was
think?
right in the middle of the week, so just like it seemed like it just
I
came right up
guess.
on us.
And here it really didn't. I mean, we had some nasty weather here, but we didn't get that big dump of snow that we sometimes get. But
Nope.
it's just been an inconvenience type of snow. Just where it's just enough, like about an inch or so, and a bunch of ice is underneath it. It's just been
Yep.
it just I don't know, man. It just wasn't the normal Christmas self to me this year.
Bro,
But we still
bro,
had a good time though.
if I see any snow, it's an inconvenience to me. I don't even want to see the damn thing. I told my fiance, I said my type of snow is when I see it, we laugh, we go, oh my god, it's so pretty, and when I wake up, it's melted and it's a nice day. That's the type of snow I like. I don't want to still be there.
See, I'm not done either. Now I'm going into birthday season. So
Yep.
Yeah,
Melissa's birthday, Melissa's birthday is coming up. It's next week, right? And then also my daughter's birthday is also next week, and then DJ's birthday, her birthday is when we go to Chicago, the 17th.
Same.
Her birthday is the 17th.
Yeah, we've talked about that. That's my
Yeah.
daughter's.
yeah. I was about to say you have a crazy birthday schedule too, Joe.
Yeah, 17th and the 23rd.
Yeah.
So Melissa so she wants me to put together some type of party or something for a dinner or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know your friends like that.
What?
Like,
Is that what I gotta look forward to?
yeah, you do. So she's suspecting it too. So so now I have to figure out something. Um, I was gonna mess with her because I know she listened to this and she's probably paying attention right now, wondering what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna say anything. So I know you're listening. So I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna keep on going. So,
I'm gonna be honest
but
with you. I don't even know my fiance's friends. I don't listen. I'm gonna tell you now. I get in trouble when she's like I'll make up a name. She's like, oh yeah, like did I tell you about Victoria had this. I'm like, oh Victoria? Who Victoria? The one you see every time. I keep telling you, the one that drives me home. We go through this every time, and I go, oh no, I thought you meant a different Victoria. And in my mind, I go, I'm probably gonna forget this name again too. Shit.
I'm like that too, man, Angel.
Yeah,
And this is the problem though. This is the problem with her birthday being right where it is. It's right after Christmas. So a lot of times people are strapped for cash now because we have spent our whole checks for the last couple of months, gifts, or credit cards, and then also January. We can get hit with a snowstorm any second. So and if we get that snowstorm and it's cold, it's not like it's 30 or 40, 50, it's going to be in the 20s. People don't want to come out, so that just gives people an excuse not to really want to come out, and I don't want to put nothing together and nobody show up,
Yeah, what can't
so
what happened to what happened to just a beautiful dinner date and I love you and a little
I did that and we had a good
Yeah,
time.
let's
I
just
did
do
that before and we had a good time, but I think this year she kind of it's kind of wanting something. So I don't know. I'll figure out something.
Give her a
That's
teddy.
right. I said, I know you're listening. Once again, I said, I'll figure it out. I got time. You're
Give her a
listening to
teddy.
this, it's probably Thursday.
Yeah,
So I still got a couple more days.
Yeah, if you listen to this, Angel said, just take a teddy bear. It's all good. That's Angel saying. Or how about this? Or you guys could paint some walls together. Look at that. That is a beautiful.
See, Angel,
bonding time.
so now she might swing on you in Chicago now for saying that.
That's a
like,
beautiful
hey,
bonding
Angel.
time.
Angel about to get beat up.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, other than that, we're looking forward to the new year. Once again, me and her are gonna be out of here. We're gonna find us a hotel somewhere. She does not like hearing those gunshots, so got to get us a room somewhere.
On
I
New
have
Year's
no idea
Day?
where. No, New Year's Eve. They start
New Year's
shooting.
Eve?
Yeah,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve. So we normally spend, get a room somewhere in one of the suburbs. Same thing, I know she does not want to be here listening to all them gunshots and everything pop off. It don't bother me, I grew up listening to the shit. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, you know what's
Yeah.
crazy? You're saying that, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's normal. But then I didn't realize that maybe that's not normal.
That's not normal in Canada. So, her first year, she damn near had a panic attack here. So yeah, so she can't deal with the gunshots, man. Some of those guns are loud and they sound really, really close. She's like, she's not trying to have no accidents, no bullets come flying in through the windows or anything like that. And while we're here, so so I'll figure it
You
out.
should just told her they're fireworks.
Nah, those damn things that go off. She knows.
I
She
know.
knows.
I know.
My grandmother's, every time we went to my grandmother's for New Year's Eve, everybody starts popping off shots. So that's why I said to me, I'm like, oh, that's like normal, I guess.
Yeah. All right, let's talk. Oh, this is my question for you. Now, it's not really a normal question of the day, but Angel and Joe, we're talking about Rocky 4 tonight.
Uh-huh.
And my question to you guys is Rocky 4 a Christmas movie?
Oh, here we go. This is like a
What
diehard
do
question.
you think?
Simple answer, no.
And then I say, yeah. Look at that. He says no.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling that's where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
Hell no. That's what my answer is. Hell no.
And I
Okay,
said,
but
hell
Die
yeah.
Hard. How about Die Hard?
I don't consider no. It's no. I
Yes,
don't.
it is. Die Hard is.
I can't.
Joe,
I don't
you
do
just
They
that.
had a
Die
Christmas
Hard
party.
You just said Die Hard is, but
It
Rocky
is.
4 is it?
No.
See,
Dude,
it should be the same.
What the hell?
It doesn't have to be logical. I don't like to be.
I like that
I'm
answer.
illogical.
And you know what, Joe? I wish more people said stuff like that. That, that's fine. That's the way you think. That's
True
the way
logic.
Me personally.
I say what I say.
Yeah, man. No, just because Christmas is in the movie does not make it a Christmas movie. A Christmas movie should be about Christmas. That's how I classify it. Not just because
Like
Christmas
a Karate Christmas Miracle.
Now, see, actually, that is more of a Christmas movie because the whole
No.
thing was this idiot had to get all of this done by Christmas in order to get his
That
belt,
movie
or whatever that was.
Was just a tragedy, is all that movie.
It was, but still, it was still based around Christmas, and Christmas had something to do
Christmas
with
is in the title.
Yeah, this movie, not really, just happened. You know what, man? If I'm anybody else in this movie besides Rocky, I'm gonna be kind of pissed that he picked Christmas to have a boxing match. Like, that is so stupid. Why would somebody do something like that?
But it has the word Christmas in it, so now it makes it a Christmas movie. You just said if it doesn't have Christmas in it, it ain't a Christmas movie.
No, it has nothing to do with Christmas. He just so happened to pick. They asked him, like, why Christmas? And he was like, that date was available. That's stupid.
It doesn't have to be logical.
You know why, Gene? Because he was trying to cancel Christmas.
Rocky wants to cancel Christmas
for Drago. You killed his friend. I'm gonna cancel Christmas.
So let me ask you guys this. I'm quite sure the people that's listening to this, I mean, I can't imagine anybody listening to this podcast who have not seen Rocky 4 already. So I got to ask you guys this. Would you have taken this fight and challenged Drago after he did this, killed your friend in the ring?
No.
Yeah.
No.
What about you, Angel?
This is the
Angel's already said stupider stuff, so yes, he will.
It doesn't have to have logic, so whatever.
That's about to be a new shirt.
That's gonna be a new thing now on this show. This doesn't have to have logic. This is my thing. With as close as he was with Apollo, yeah. You know what I mean? Like with that exact relationship, that exact circumstance, yes.
Apollo should have never took the fight.
No, he shouldn't. But you know what?
That's
But
all
here's the
there is
thing,
to
though.
it.
This is the thing. This is why I say the exact circumstance, like everything the same, and would I do it? Yeah, because I should have thrown in the towel. So now that's my cross to bear, and that it's my cross to bear. And I just, I would be like, yeah, sure, I'll go fight you.
You know, they have some bad they have some bad timelines going on in this movie. Did you guys notice that?
Mhm.
Very, very bad. Very, very bad. Okay, so the distance between Rocky Rocky 3 and this movie,
Was right
it should
after.
it should have been right after, right?
I thought it was.
Okay, so in Rocky 3, his son should have been
Oh,
three
I know what you're
years
talking about. I
old,
know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
right? His son should have been 3 years old. But they said Apollo hadn't fought in 5 years. Apollo fought, it should have just been 3 years because that kid was born and Rocky and Apollo fought. It wasn't an extra 2 years or nothing like that. But they
Yeah.
said it's been 5 years since now, unless I could have been mistaken. Like they could have had no, they couldn't have had he couldn't have had fought after that. No, they just messed up the time. Now in this movie, like Angel said, it happened right after Rocky 3.
It
The
did
kid is
because when he
he's
went back, he was bruised up. That's how he went back.
yeah, now the kid is like 8 or 9.
That's why I say it didn't make it. I know what you mean. It didn't make sense. I know what you mean.
And then the next movie, Rocky 5, he's gonna be
I,
even bigger.
I was about to say.
Yep.
But then Rocky 5, the kid was like 30. The
13.
kid was like 16, 17. It made no sense at all. I was like, God damn, what's happening here?
Well, we know that had been 9 years also because Rocky brings in a cake to Adrian and they celebrate the anniversary. And he said it's been 9 years. So what if it's 9 years, they got married in Rocky 2. The kid was born in Rocky at the same time as Rocky 2. So that should have just
Yeah.
been just a few years later. You know?
They didn't have
That
all.
Yep.
They didn't have all this. They didn't think like the way we think now. Like they didn't think anyone was gonna catch up on this.
yeah, they definitely didn't.
They're
They
like, they're like,
definitely
they're
didn't.
like, listen, let's just keep going. We write the script and just go. That's it.
Now this might have been the first Rocky movie that I saw in the theater. Because I know like I was a little kid. I was a baby damn near when Rocky 1 and 2 came out. I think 1 came out in what 76?
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah.
I was born in September in 76. I might not have even been born yet when the first one came out. And then the second one might have been in what 79, 78, something like that.
78, 79, one of those.
Yeah. I'm almost positive I didn't see 3. But my thing is, I remember my dad, after karate, he went to the video store and he bought Rockies 1, 2, and 3, and even 4. And me, him, and Travis, we watched, like, we spent the whole day and do nothing but watch the Rocky movies. My mom wasn't home at all. But I know we definitely did go to the movies to see 4. And that was pretty cool. Me
I
and Travis.
saw all of my movies on Blockbuster.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that would make sense. I mean,
because that was
yeah.
It was so far out.
The only one that you possibly could have seen would have been Rocky 6.
I went to the theaters. My dad took me to go to the theaters with that. Me, my dad, my mom.
Okay.
Yes, I did see that one and like actually in the theaters, which I still say to this day. See, I'm not saying that's my favorite one, but I think it's the one I think that's had the best impact in today's society. Does that make sense? Like the quotes and everything that came from that one movie, it's kind of like the Pursuit of Happiness. Like it just the quotes. My thing is I'm also biased because I think like how you said you went and saw Rocky 4 in the theaters. That was like my first time seeing Rocky in the theaters. So to me, I think I'm a little biased because of that. But
yeah, I've never ever even heard of anybody ever. People act like Rocky 6 didn't even happen.
I know that's
There's a lot of people they don't even bring that one up.
The only way the only reason why it even gets recognized is at the end of Creed 2, like for like that last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
If it wasn't for that, you still wouldn't really think about Rocky 6. You wouldn't.
Right.
So no, I agree.
All right, Joe. Let's get to it, man.
All right, this one picks up just like the last one. We get a little bit from the end of 3. His fight with Clover and his fight that we didn't get to see with Apollo.
Yeah, he lost.
And then Rocky comes home, and they're celebrating Paulie's birthday. Which this was this robot real? Was this a real thing, or was this just something they kind of made up? And that cake was wild too.
There were, I never saw a real robot like that at that time, but I know that there
Yeah.
were robots, but they were more so remote control. Like I never seen one operate on its own like that in real life before.
That it was anyhow. That they were super excited to give this gift to Paulie, and it was like a robot. And
Why
at
would
one
they
point
think he would want that?
Because he's lonely, I guess. I don't know. You know what? I've always said, like, I'm surprised they didn't give Paulie like his own little girlfriend, some drunk chick that just spits off at the mouth.
Do you think Rocky wants that shit in his house?
Yo,
like
I'm
two
about
of
to
them?
be like, damn,
I just thought it would be. That's why they gave him the robot instead of giving him some foul mouthed crazy woman.
Like give him a little prostitute. We just say, here you go, Paulie, go ahead. Have some fun. You thing, man. Jesus Christ.
And you know, like you said, Rocky celebrates the anniversary a little early. He comes in with a cake, and him and Adrian are in boxing gloves and in their wedding outfits and in a ring. And you know, she's looking and laughing. She's like, "Oh, was it really that bad?" I don't think he thought that one through so much.
No.
Well, he also didn't think through taking her to the zoo either. But I mean, whatever, right?
Yeah, I know. That's true. That's true. And then we move on and we start seeing a little bit of Russia and Ivan Drago, and they're calling him, you know, the next big thing, and he's coming to America to fight American fighters. And you know, it's on the TV briefly, and then we see Apollo in the pool playing with his dogs, and when he sees it, you know, he gets a face like, you know, I got to do something about this. Like,
So
he's really kind of like, you know, it's really intriguing to him,
I have a
but
question.
also almost offensive.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Really quick, because I watched this again, and I feel like I missed it. Was Apollo? No. Was Rocky his first professional fight?
Who?
Drago's.
I mean,
Yes.
technically Apollo was.
Yes. No. Apollo's
that was an exhibition.
It was an exhibition.
So Rocky was his first pro fight.
An exhibition's not a professional fight?
No.
Okay.
An exhibition's like what Floyd Mayweather does now.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
got you. Okay.
So you're saying yes, it was his first pro fight.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought so. I could have swore they said he was like I don't know, like three. I'm not saying this is the real number, but he was like 300-0 or something, like the bet, like undefeated amateur. And then
I don't remember the number
That was his first. I remember they said a number, but then this was his first pro fight to come into the pro ranks. The reason why I say that is that had a significant effect on all the movies that have came prior after with Creed 1, 2, and 3. It's crazy.
Why is that?
Because have you guys seen Creed 3 or no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've seen them all.
Okay, so like, have you noticed how the people he was fighting, they had lesser number of fights or not well known fights? Like they were really like more like bar fighters that got a big chance. And I noticed that, and then I connected that to this one, to Rocky 4, that this is where that storyline kind of started, or that like style of writing started for like that.
Oh, got you.
You know what I mean? Because
I've only seen the Creed movies once each, so I don't know them as detailed. So I'm not.
It's just all of them. Like Donnie, in Creed 1, Donnie, he had like 15 fights, but in Mexico in like bars, like backdoor fights. They were still official, but like you know, you're at bars while someone's drinking. Then in Creed 2 for Drago's son, he got them all fights, but it was only in Ukraine or whatever, only in Russia. So he never got out. Everything was right there, and those were kind of like backyard type of fights. Then Creed 3, he fought the guy that came out of jail. His first fight was for all the major world titles. So that's why I said like that kind of like it like progressed that. So
yeah, I mean, unless they did a montage, that would make for an awfully long movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Having people fight through the ranks.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they do it like they did Clubber Lang in the last movie.
I could see like how they did Clubber Lang. That's why I say that.
Mm-hmm.
That one made sense. You saw him rising in the ranks and Rocky.
Yeah, you know what, Angel? You make a good point. We never in any of these movies we don't see anybody who is the top rate contender. That's like, okay, it's my turn now.
We never see anybody ever fight another fighter in a pro match. All we see
except for Clubber.
Except for Clubber, just little sparring clips. Apollo had like a little sparring clip where he just kept flicking jabs. Drago had one where he was just knocking dudes out with a hook. Like, and it just showed it quick, and then it pans over to a next scene. But Clubber was the only one you got to literally see. He was like 15th or 20th, and then he's 10th, then he's 5th, then he's number 1. Like, you see him get through there. So it kind of made that storyline a little bit more realistic for like real boxing fans. You know what I mean? That's why.
No, you're right. You're right. And honestly, they did a montage for Clubber Lang, and all of those fights weren't in 1 year.
No,
that was over a span of 3 years.
Yeah,
so between 2 and 3 was 3 years.
That's why I say that. That's why I said it's interesting how like that was the only one they did it for. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay. Go ahead, Joe.
The crazy thing. So they're introducing Drago, and he shows up with like a team of scientists, and the president of Russia, USSR, and like it's a whole spectacle. They're gonna show the Americans, that they're superior, and then of course, like the idea of steroids comes up, and the wife makes a comment like, "Oh no, he's naturally trained. He just eats his spinach like Popeye." Like, because then when we go back to Russia, they're shooting him with a needle. So
yeah, so he never got tested.
Guess not.
Well, you remember at that time.
I think they still was testing people.
I don't want to go down this road because I don't know who listens to this, and I know like we are in international countries, so I don't want to like say the wrong thing. But like in that time, it makes sense. That's all I'm gonna say. In that time, it makes sense.
No, I get you.
Like
I get you. So
the other thing I had a question. So when I started seeing that, I had a question, and this is only you guys could really answer this, really, or people around this time frame. Was this movie in the heat of the Cold War or after the Cold War? Like, I thought it was crazy.
No, I think it happened in the middle.
So I thought it was crazy that I get the ending of the story and what they were going for with the ending of it. But like just throughout it until you got to the end, I was like, that's a pretty bold move to like, make a movie like that and know that it's Rocky who has so much power, like not power, but has so much reach everywhere. Like, how did it not spark something? It kind of reminds me of like that movie, The Interview, when they did like the North Korea and they did like how like that movie actually created problems and like people started having.
They didn't even that movie had to go straight to Netflix. They didn't even get to play it in the theater.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That had like an issue. So I think it's interesting.
I like that stuff though. I like the little controversy.
Shit, okay.
Shake it up.
I'm gonna shut up.
Let's shake it up. Come on.
Oh, don't shake up, all right. Jesus Lord.
I know.
Go ahead, Joe.
So yeah, I mean, they're making a big spectacle of this Russian fighter, and everything like that. And then, like I said, Apollo, for whatever reason, pride, whatever, he has to be the one to put this guy in his place. So, him and Rocky are talking about it, and Rocky's telling him like, man, we're in our 30s now. This guy's young, he's strong. Like, you don't have anything to prove. Okay, we did it. It's our time. Let him go do his thing. Whatever. Let him beat up these amateurs. And he can't do it. He's gotta be the one. And of course, they do an interview, and Apollo is Apollo. He's gonna talk junk. He's gonna Muhammad Ali the situation. And he kind of gets into it with the wife and the president and of Russia. And it gets a little crazy. And the funny thing is, Ivan don't say much.
No,
he just looks at you, and when it's time to do his job, he knows what to do. So they really played on the intimidation factor with him throughout the whole movie.
I'm actually gonna look up Dolph Lundgren's his IMDb, because I wonder, was those his types of roles that he was taking before them, because was there a language barrier for him to talk? Because like at that time he did have like an accent, like a very thick accent, even though he still had one moving forward. But I'm gonna look it up, because after that you started seeing him take more roles where he was like speaking more and he was, a little bit more verbal. So
Well, I think this was his first major role.
that's why I was wondering, like, if he did little small stuff, and then this was where he got his big break. I'll be honest with you though, man. I have a question for you guys. Okay, I had one of my dad's friends always told me this, and it could be true. Like, I'm not saying it's not. I just want to see what you guys think. Did they take steroids? You think they did?
Who?
Both of them. Like
in real life,
probably.
and like for this movie to get in shape.
Probably.
I think so.
To get in shape for this movie, did they take? You think they both took steroids? I think they really, like. One of my dad's friends said, like, yo, he took, like, Rocky took steroids in Rocky 4. Like, look at his body, like it didn't even look real. He looked like the action figure that he was selling.
It did.
So that's why I asked, like, you think he actually did those PEDs? Because that's crazy.
I think so. I think so. There's
We'll
no
never know
reason
for
not
real.
to. Yeah, there's no
We'll
reason
never
for
know
him
for
not
real.
to have. It's not. It wasn't like a real sporting contest.
Yeah, well, no,
You know.
I know in and like a lot of, like, for acting and for Hollywood, like a lot of actors, like, and it's not a shame to it, they take PEDs or take steroids because they have to get big for certain roles, or they have to change their physique, like they almost kind of have to put on that type of size. So, but all right, no, I just wanted. I'm looking up his IMDb now.
So we get to the day of the fight, and again, Apollo has to come out and make a whole spectacle. And Rocky says something about it, because he's red, white, and blue from head to toe. He's got backup dancers. He's got James Brown singing "Coming to America." Like, I mean, that's my favorite part. I just think it's hilarious, because here comes this new to the country Russian. He just wants to make a name for himself in America. Maybe, get some fights under and show who he is. And this dude comes in and is like, yeah, you're in my hometown.
He looked
you're in
overwhelmed.
America. Yeah. And he's looking around, but I mean, he's still, you're thinking like, what's going to happen?
Go ahead,
and,
Angel.
This is important.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is actually important to it. I'm just looking up his IMDb. I didn't get to see all his movies, but I just looked at upcoming really quick. Drago is rumored.
Yeah, I heard about that before.
Ooh. What is it? Is it gonna be a prequel for him?
No, I think it's supposed to be about the son, continuing the son story after Creed.
Really? Oh, well then this is crazy. Because I don't know.
I also heard they were supposed to be doing a Clubber Lang movie also.
Oh, they should.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually rumored that Clubber was going to be in Rocky 3. Like, that was supposed to be, and I'm glad they didn't go that way. But that was a rumor.
You mean Creed 3?
Yeah, my bad. Creed 3. That
I
Clubber.
heard, my dad kept saying, was Michael John White in that movie? They said he's supposed to be Clubber Lang. I was like, no, he's not in that. No, he's not. Michael John White would not take Clubber Lang. That's not a role I think he would take. But yeah, no, I just saw that now. I was like, oh crap! I did not know that they were thinking about doing Drago. I didn't know that.
Go ahead, Joe.
These movies make money.
Yeah.
Creed 1 came out. Creed 1 made all kinds of money. Now, people could say whatever they want about 2 and 3. Okay, I know some people say good things, some people say bad things. They all made money. Okay, Rocky itself.
Honestly, people used to talk about Rocky 2. People used to talk about Rocky 2 back in the day.
But you like it or you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I could do a whole podcast about people getting upset about movies. Movies are movies, okay? You watch it, you like it, you don't like it, just go away, okay?
Right.
They're entertainment. Your expectations are too high sometimes, okay? That's all I'm saying. Like, just enjoy it.
I got something I want to ask you, but I want you guys first to get through this part, Joe.
Okay. So we get to the fight, and Apollo comes out. He's doing his thing, and it's almost as if Drago is kind of instructed to toy with him a little bit, because all of a sudden they're like, okay, now
Right.
after about 2 rounds of Apollo, sticking and moving like he likes to do. And he's thinking he's getting the best of him. And this dude, Drago just unleashes punishment on him and like 5, 6, 7 punches. And Apollo's, he's feeling it.
Mhm.
And he looks at Rocky and tells Rocky, don't you dare throw the towel. Don't stop this fight. And it's like, I know the movie has to be the movie. It has to be what it's going to be. But in real, let's just say, you should have threw that towel, and you should never let him go back. You should have threw that towel before the bell even rung, okay?
Mhm.
The ref should have stopped it. Like,
That's what I was
the
wondering.
ref should have stopped it, actually.
this is getting very, this was obviously one-sided, okay?
Right.
Nobody needs to die. I don't care about my pride. I don't care if you hate me for the rest of your life. You don't need to die over this whole thing. That's all I'm saying.
That throwing in the towel, man, like that but like people not doing it, like some people really, they will go do that.
If Apollo hadn't died, then now this is not my question I have, but just going off of what Joe just said, if Apollo hadn't have died in this movie, like would he have been able to live with himself with taking the beating that he took?
No.
I don't think so. He could barely deal with the fact that
he probably would have killed himself. Seriously though, he probably would have killed himself.
Yeah, if he could walk around, but he looked like he was.
That would have been more
handicapped.
tragic. That would have been more tragic.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was watching that part, I don't know. Like I just thought it was so crazy how, like they made him out to be like one punch would send him flying across the whole entire ring into a turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like just one punch, it almost looked like it was like a Street Fighter type move. Like he threw a punch and he flew back like 10 feet. Let me ask you guys something, right? If you're watching that as the fan, would you ever go to another boxing match ever again?
If I watch a man die in the ring,
that's what I'm saying, like that.
I probably would. I mean, I have not gone to many boxing fights. I've not gone to any professional boxing fights at all at this point, anyway. But if I was a boxing fan like that, I don't think that would have stopped me from going to boxing fights. I mean, matches. I mean, I still would have gone.
So now the reason why I'm asking that is because now I'm gonna say, a boxer just died yesterday. And he just won the cruiserweight world title.
Mm-hmm.
And he died.
He didn't die in the ring, right? He died after.
He died 5 days after.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it was I was looking it up, and he had 14 fights in 1 year.
Damn.
Jesus.
I mean,
and sometimes, and some of them, he was fighting twice in one night. Like he probably was doing boxing tournaments where he did like 2 fights in one night.
Listen. Now that should fall on your manager and your trainers right there.
That's what they said. They people are writing saying like, what was the manager doing? Then they're like, what was the commission doing? Like,
yeah.
But he was taking fights in Colombia, taking fights in places where
making money.
Like, it's kind of like you do whatever you want, man. So the reason why I say that is because watching this part and then seeing what after hearing about what happened, I'm like, man, like I guess sometimes, and maybe this is just me who feels this way. But like sometimes I almost forget, like, like you could really get hurt with some of these sports, like anything with head trauma, like any sport.
Yeah.
Any sport.
100%.
Any sport with head trauma, you could really get hurt. Like you almost forget, like because you think everything is so safe under rules and different that, but then stuff happens, like things slip through the cracks. It's just crazy to me, super crazy.
Yeah. So sometimes, man, when people ask me about sport karate, I'm like, y'all don't knock out. No, like we're not just using our hands. Like, do you want to get knocked out from a kick? Bro, that's gonna do more damage than a hand.
Bro,
that's gonna do way more damage. Number one, number two, I'm training kids. Majority of my clientele are kids. I'm not training kids to knock out other kids. That's crazy.
Listen, man, I said it to my brother before, man. I heard someone say this one time about sport karate, and I think it was the best marketing you could use. It's the safest combat sport you have. Like, if you're gonna look at combat sports, it is the safest combat sport you could probably possibly have.
Yeah,
I've seen knockouts in jiu-jitsu. Like, they could still happen. And not saying that it can't happen anywhere. Like a knockout, we've all seen knockouts happen, but it's still it's one of the safest combat sports you could still have. So
go ahead, Joe.
No, I agree. 100%. So of course Rocky gets home, and
Okay. Hold on. I didn't know you were gonna jump right there. So basically, Apollo does die in the ring. And,
yeah, oh, yeah,
and pandemonium happens. So this is my question. So when Rocky fights Drago, Rocky is wearing the Stars and Stripe trunks.
I have those trunks
yeah.
from MMA. I love those
So
trunks.
did he? They take him off Apollo's dead body and just wash him up and then give him to Rocky? Like
Oh, I don't know.
that's some morbid shit. And then doesn't Rocky give those same trunks to Adonis in Creed?
Yeah,
Does he give it to Tommy or no?
Yeah, Tommy does wear them also.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tommy wears them also. So it's just like, well, damn, you could at least gave him like a duplicate
I'm
or
gonna be
something.
honest. I don't think the ones he gave,
But
the
then I'm
ones
gonna take these off your ass that's dead, and I'm gonna wear them. Like
the
that's
ones
kind
he
of
gave
messed up.
the ones he gave to Adonis, I think were like a duplicate. Like they were made to look just like it.
But I thought he said that these were your dad's.
I
I
think he
thought he
said
said
that. I think he probably did, but I'm gonna be honest with you. There ain't no way it looked that fucking shiny. Still,
it.
from
Well, I mean,
'88 to
everything
now.
else is just everything else in this in the Rocky world universe is
The
they're push
Rocky,
they're
the
pushing
Rocky
the narrative.
universe, the Rocky universe is crazy.
Yeah, it got all types of
anyways,
mistakes and everything. But all right, go ahead, Joe.
different times. He gets home, and he decided that right after that fight, he was gonna take the fight against Drago, and now he's got to go to Russia to do it. And of course, Adrian's upset. She doesn't get it. She never, she been having the same argument. She knows good and
Yep,
goddamn well he's gonna fight. She's
yep.
gonna eventually go join him and support him because she says that all together, just like she said before. Like, what are you doing? You can't win. Have you learned by now? This man can win anything. Come
She
on now, he's
she
Rocky
she yelled that
Balboa,
at him. She yelled that at him. Now you
which
know
I
what?
get. I get that he's got a lot more to live for. So
Now this is the messed up part about this. When Apollo took the fight, Apollo did not have any idea that he was going to die. That never crossed his mind. But Rocky is different. Rocky knew that it's a good chance I'm about to die in the ring, and he still took the fight. So that to me, Rocky was more selfish than Apollo in that aspect.
I
Because
agree.
Rocky, like he didn't know he was going to walk out there. He definitely should not have thought he was going to walk out of that ring the same way he walked in. And we saw the effects of what happened to him after that.
Not at
You know,
all. Yeah,
Yeah,
he definitely shouldn't have, man.
no,
true.
I mean, because think about it, he technically should not have fought Apollo the second time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hmm.
Or Clubber.
So yeah, so if you shouldn't have fought Apollo the second time, you damn sure shouldn't have fought Clubber a first or second time. Like Adrian was kind of right, especially
Oh, she
Adrian
was
watched
100% right.
she watched Apollo die too. You know,
It's crazy because like that situation, just like that scenario in itself. Not saying that someone died and then someone had to exact revenge, but you guys know who Andre Ward is?
yeah,
So when he fought Sergey Kovalev the first time, everybody made a big thing about like, why would you go into the ring with a guy who killed a man? Because Sergey Kovalev killed somebody in the ring one time, and from a boxing match, and even he said it now to this day. He's like, the stupidest thing I did was fight him, knowing that he killed a man. He's like, that was
yeah.
like a hard thing for him and his family to like understand.
In real life, this could have led to a divorce.
Yeah,
Because
Should
somebody
have.
like somebody like Adrian could have been like, you know what, you don't care about your family, you don't care about me, you're not looking after us. Like if you're gonna literally put your life on the line, like
Yeah,
knowing that one of your good friends just died from this same guy, and now you're about to go in and fight, knowing that you could die because you were at ringside and you witnessed him kill your best friend, and you're not now you're going to do it too. Shoot.
yeah. It's uh, it- like I said, I love this movie, but these parts of the movie don't make sense.
Mm.
no,
Another
It's
thing,
very illogical.
this
doesn't have to
movie
be as logic.
This movie here has to be in the Guinness World Record as having the most montages in a movie. Like, damn, they had about 6 of them. There were
Yeah,
a lot of
every
montages.
like 10 scenes, they're like
Yeah,
montage.
I was like, Joe's
Okay,
in
but
heaven.
wait, I'm telling you right now, top 10 for sure. The montage and when they're training side by side, and Drago's
Mhm.
got the high tech training, and Rocky's outside roughing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah.
on now, that's good
Well,
stuff right there.
I'll tell you what, I always thought it was crazy. I've always been like, man, how did he run all the way up a damn mountain like that fucking high?
I was thinking that too.
Like there was clouds underneath the
Yeah.
mountain like that. That was
I,
high.
I was thinking he got to the top. Was like, shit, I gotta walk back down.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I
bro.
would have just slid. I would have just sat down and just slid
Going
all
down's
the way
man,
down.
going down's always the worst part. I remember
Yeah,
when we used to run the bleachers over at Wayne
yeah,
State.
yeah.
Going up was okay, but I remember coming down like
Always felt
my
like I was gonna
calves
trip.
would be burnt. Well, that too, but my calves and my thighs would be burning, man. Like
Yeah.
Hey,
dang.
I
And
tell
then
you
you got to
what,
go do it again.
when I saw that video, when I saw the montage, it made me think of a video I seen on Instagram one time. It was like a meme that went viral of these guys were climbing up a mountain, like a snow mountain, like a Sherpa or something. And he said, "Is this safe?" He's like 50-50. He's like, "What do you mean 50-50?" And they hit they went to go and step somewhere, and with the ice pick, like the mountain was here and the ice was here and the fell right off. And everyone was like, "Oh, no, 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 never mind, never mind." And I was like, so when I saw that, I was like, "Man, how did he know that he was still running on actual like ground?" Like I would have been worried that I'm on like an ice and then it just drops in that moment. I'm dead. Like that's it. It's over and done with. Over and done with.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Go ahead, Joe.
so after the training montage and everything, Adrian does show up and she's all in. She's ready to bury her husband because come on, let's be honest. He shouldn't survive this fight, but it is what it is. And he gets up that mountain and he's yelling Drago, 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 so real dramatic, a little crazy, but and then we get to the fight and it's the complete opposite of Apollo. Now
Yeah.
Rocky's on their turf and he's the misfit. He's the one who's out of place. And
Mhm.
he's looking around like, dang, like
There wasn't really a lot of movie. I mean, it was a bunch of montages, quick little conversations, and then we got to the finale real quick. Like this movie, this one and the other one, and part 3 to me didn't seem like it had enough depth to the movies. Like the first two, weren't so much focused on the boxing. It was more so about Rocky's life.
yeah.
And these two movies focus more so on revenge and boxing. And there's not a lot of story to it. But it's okay. I mean, it's still good.
Yeah, I mean, for the fourth movie, you can't really beat it. There's not too many movies that make it to 4, 5, 6,
No.
that you'd actually say, "Oh yeah, that was a good movie." Paulie stops and gets real emotional for a minute and tells Rocky, all this nice stuff, and he knows. He basically says, "I know I'm a pain in the ass, but you stuck it out with me, and I love you for that." And then, why he always has Paulie by his side. You gotta love it. Even down the road after everybody dies or leaves him, he still has Paulie with him.
Mhm.
That always cracked me up. Paulie's a interesting character. So right away into the fight, they even with the muscle that Rocky put on, you can see the difference. I mean, Drago towers over him, pretty much like everybody else has. They're always Rocky's a little guy.
Mhm.
How did he eat? He never went to the grocery store.
We never did see. We never saw that.
The chaperones, they had like chaperones on them, probably bought him food.
Yeah.
No, because I think they asked him to make a list.
Yeah.
Well, he done ran that car into a snowbank. That couldn't even get out.
Yep. So he starts this fight, and it's kind of the same thing. First off, Drago gets his most famous lines because when they touch gloves and it's like solid rock, he looks at Rocky and he says, "I must break you."
I've used
apparently
I've used those memes before. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
They're pretty good though. Come on.
Yeah.
For some reason, like the whole country is relying on Drago. Like he not just has to win this fight for himself, but like he has to win it. His whole country is like behind him or gonna drop him off a cliff if he doesn't win this fight.
It kind of makes sense
It's
though. At that
really
time,
crazy.
At that time, it makes sense though, because he's in the military. You know, he figured the American and Russian war. So they're seen as like a way of like dominance. Like we get to say we have something over the Americans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's crazy because then when you go to Creed 2,
Oh Jesus, Lord,
you know,
that was just
spoiler alert, the whole country turned on him. His wife left him all because of this fight.
You know, that bitch, I hated seeing her in this.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, what? Her own son didn't even see. She abandoned her son. She's like, "Oh, we have this son together, but you're a disappointment. So keep your son and raise your disappointments." Like, I don't know. It was really weird. I just remember, like, watching that, going, like, "What? It was one fight."
Listen, I talked to somebody, and someone said, "If you want to watch Creed 2, go watch Rocky 4. It's the same thing." I was like, "Oh well, yeah."
Well, not really, but I get it. I get what they're saying. So. Rocky's getting manhandled. The fight's not going well. He can't really get a hit, but he's going to keep trying. Adrian's watching. You know, she's watching. She's putting her head down, getting worried. And it takes a couple of rounds before Rocky really gets his footing. Like, I think at one point he gets one good shot in. Like, but for the most part, he's getting his ass kicked for the first couple of rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to basically become a brawl because at one point he's being shoved. Then they're hitting after the break. And then Rocky's had enough. He picks him up. He slams him on the ground. Like he's showing everybody there, I'm not afraid of you. Like I know I should be if I was smart enough, but I'm not afraid of you. I'm gonna keep coming. You know, eventually I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna get a hold of you, and you're gonna find out who I am. So, and you know that's kind of how this goes. And at one point in the third round, I think Rocky does hit him, and he cuts him. And the whole time, I forgot to say, Rocky's coach at this point is Apollo's former coach.
Yeah, and Paulie. And I always wondered, like, where the hell are the other guys that were working with Mickey? How come they're not there also?
I know. I always, you know what? I agree with you on that. Like, it kind of switched over in 3.
Yeah.
So, he's telling Rocky, you know, like, see, he's not invincible. He can be cut. He's a man just like you. You know, we're not going to feel any pain from here on out. You know, you're going to take it to him. And that's when we kind of get, you know, we get more of a montage. They're going round by round. Drago's winning the rounds, but just in you know, true Rocky style, he's given as much as he's taken. Mm-hmm. And he is starting to impose his will slowly but surely, especially with the body shots and a couple of face shots, and he's taken a lot of punishment. So, you got anything about that?
Nope.
No.
So, the whole time Drago was told to end this quickly. And there's a point where Drago even kind of says, like, you know, I'm trying, but this dude's face is made. He says, like, this guy's face is made of iron.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I'm giving him, you know, 100% my best, and he's still coming at me. Like, what the hell?
Now, what I was thinking should have happened to Drago is Drago should have got fatigued. Number one, when you have all that muscle like that, that muscle fatigues you really, really quickly.
Yeah.
And he's not, I know Drago is not used to fighting as long as he's fighting with Rocky. So around round number 10 and 11, he should have been gassed.
100%.
It's his first pro fight.
Yeah, and that too.
Well, and he's taking big body shots and spitting up blood. And that's kind of Rocky's thing has always been kind of chop you down like a tree trunk and then start taking it to the face to knock you out. And I mean, nobody could take that kind of punishment except for Rocky, supposedly. So. And it gets to the point, like you said, I think like round 11. First off, now the wife is starting to like bow, like shake her head, and the political people are coming in and yelling at him, and he's yelling back at them. You know, he's like, "Hey, I don't fight for you. I fight for me. Okay, I'm going to take this guy out for me. Screw you. Get out of my ring." And I mean, this is starting to get serious because now not only is Drago starting to, lose this fight a little bit, but the crowd is starting to get on Rocky's side. This hostile crowd that was booing him and everything, they're starting to be like, okay, like, how could you not root for Rocky? Like, this dude should be dead. Okay. Yeah. He should be gone. And he just keeps coming back for more. So, we all know what's going to happen. It's a Rocky fight, and eventually Rocky's going to get the upper hand, and it's going to be real dramatic. And that's, they get to the last round. Rocky starts taking a little punishment, and then he starts coming full force, and he's giving Drago 100%, everything he's got, and he puts him down 1, 2, 3, 4. Drago tries to get up, and he falls back down, and all of Russia goes crazy. Everybody that was rooting for him is kind of like turning their backs. His wife is shaking her head. And Adrian's, super happy, and everybody, throws a party because the impossible has happened. Like, he took down this Russian juggernaut. And he's got the flag around him, and he makes a nice little statement at the end, not just for himself, but basically saying, like, USA and Russia, we today, instead of fighting each other, we all came together, and we don't like each other, but eventually we all came together and enjoyed this just one amazing match. So
yeah, Rocky's lucky that didn't go to the decision, because he would have lost.
Oh yeah,
he definitely would have lost. Yeah, like, how many rounds do you think Rocky won?
2.
Yeah, I would say 2 or 3. Yeah,
maybe 3 tops. Maybe.
Yeah,
but that's his style. Like, he's a brawler. He's gonna stick it out. He's gonna take a lot of punishment, but he's gonna give it back. And just when you think you got him, like, he gets right back up. Yeah, that's always been my favorite. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's like number 3 or 4 on their list, but I've always liked that one. I like the drama. I like the seeing different cultures. I like the montages. So yeah, it's a lot of fun for me. Okay. Definitely an A+ for sure. These are all going to be A's. Maybe 5 will be a B or something, but we'll see.
I give this one an A-. It still was good. Like I said, it just wasn't a lot of story to it. I mean, it was real basic story. But other than that,
I get what you on. I understand that. I get that.
Yeah, but once again, I still will watch it.
Yeah.
Number 5, we'll talk about number 5. Well, we're gonna record tomorrow. We'll talk about it. But number 5, I don't think I think it gets a bad rap for one reason: the end. I think if they would have changed the ending of that movie, it would have made it a little bit better. People would have enjoyed it a little bit more. And I think that's the only thing. Because other than that, like, I didn't really see a problem with anything that happened, like the storyline wise. Same type of Rocky story. To me, it was just the ending. And we'll talk about that on the next show.
And when you have a 5th movie, like, okay, it's something different. They can't just keep doing the same thing, so they gave us something different. And maybe it wasn't the best, but it wasn't. There was way worse out there.
Yeah. Oh, let me make a correction also. Last week I called the new Karate Kid movie, Karate Kid Legacy. I think it's Karate Kid Legends. So let me make a correction, and we can talk about the trailer tomorrow also when we record Rocky 5. Let's talk about that also.
Cool.
Okay.
You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. I'm good, man.
Nope.
Good. All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week or later this week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.